Pain Warlock is still an amazing deck to be hitting legit with, so in this video I'm gonna give you a quick guide about the deck, show its mulligans, win rates, as well as some general tips so you guys know how to better play with and against this deck. And you can also check out the detailed coaching session we had with it, so you can really see it in action. If you're serious about Hearthstone, drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget you can come in for some Hearthstone coaching. And you can also support me on Patreon if you wish. Now, let's check out the deck.
You are not prepared!
Here's the variant we used, and yeah, as you can see, Pain Warlock has plenty of pretty decent win rate decks. I think this is the one we used. Has almost 60% win rate, almost 3,000 games. This is for the last 3 days from Diamond to Legend, so the stats are definitely very adequate. And yeah, all around it's a very strong deck right now, and it's super quick. Like games with it go really fast. This is the Vuna variant, so apparently this is the one I'm showing you. So yeah, they're both pretty close, 0.2% difference. This one has plenty more sample size, however, so definitely not bad. Here's what the deck consists of, and you obviously are gonna have plenty of damaging stuff. We have a couple of Flame Imps, amazing turn 1 for you, deals 3 damage to you, so that's immediately dropping down the Imprisoned Horror down to 6. Same can be said for the Mass Production and the Party Fiend, and we also have a Spirit Bomb that even chips away 4 damage like that. The Cursed Souvenir definitely is pretty great on tempo, but be careful because this thing can amp up the damage against you pretty quickly, so be careful not to actually kill yourself too fast with this thing. We also have a couple of Elementium Geodes giving you some nice card draw as well as some damage on your turns, or on the opponent's turn if they actually decide to trade it, but it's still probably not bad at all for you. A couple of Fearless Flame Jugglers can combo off extremely well with things like Spirit Bomb, or just in general some of your free damage stuff. You could also, if you have a turn 1 minion, and on turn 2 you play a Cursed Souvenir, turn 3 the damage actually starts the turn for you, so the Fearless Flame Jungler is technically 4-man, is a 4/4 already, and you could even Spirit Bomb like that, and that is a turn 3 8/8 right there, so that can be pretty powerful. We also have Malefic Rook in here, pretty good turn 3 for you, usually one of the best things you could be doing on 3. Trolley Problem is an excellent reactive card, and you're gonna be okay discarding a spell from time to time with this one as well. Like, you don't really need both your Cursed Souvenirs, you don't need too many mass productions in most cases, so don't be afraid to be discarding a spell with this thing. It's 3 mana 6/6 with Rush, so it's extremely powerful, and the cost is usually okay for it. Infernal is one of your few ways to actually heal a little, and this guy is very powerful. Something you need to be thinking about when playing with and against this deck is how you can actually Infernal on the turn where you're actually also dropping Molten Giants. So if you are against a Pain Warlock, and it's turn 4 for them, definitely do not drop them down to 8 health, because that allows them to drop 2 Molten Giants for 0 and then still heal back to 15. Technically against Pain Warlocks, a lot of times you are actually not going to be attacking them in the face because they actually want you to. So be careful, because this Infernal card is just really breaking the matchup for you like that. And the breakpoints, the key breakpoints would be, like I said, on turn 4, do not drop them down under 9 health basically. Technically even under 13 is problematic because they could Blood Treant, but odds of that happening not as high because they usually tempo the Blood Treant, but obviously they can also top deck it, so there's that. And on turn 5 you don't even want to be dropping them under 12, technically even under 13, because for 1 mana they can deal 3 damage or even 4 damage to themselves, then still drop 0 mana giants, and then still heal back to 15, so it's a very tricky situation and you want to be on top of things. Popgar is the other way for you to actually heal with this deck, pretty good stuff, allows it to actually also deal damage to the opponent's face if he's the lowest health enemy, but it's usually just done to clear the board a little and also heal a little. Sheriff Barrowbrim is nothing to scoff at, like this guy is very hard to control. You basically tempo this guy on turn 3 or turn 4, and you put the opponent's minion to sleep for 3 turns, which usually means till the end of the game because you usually win by turn 7. And you being able to use this a second time before even the first guy is already woken up basically makes it almost impossible for the opponent actually to play a minion on the board and actually do something. Couple of Blood Treants, amazing on turn 1, basically 0 mana 2/2 on the board, can't say no to that, and also allows it to drop Molten Giants and then heal back to 15 with Infernal like I said, so that can be pretty powerful. powerful. Party Planner Vuna, gotta say, a lot of the times I've actually not really seen any benefit out of this card. I would probably swap her out for the Symphony if I gotta be honest, and that's the other popular deck now, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly, that changed, so definitely consider swapping her out if you have the Symphony. She's okay, but really a little bit too late in the game for her to really be that impactful, so be weary of her. We also have Ziliax, he's the Pylon module plus the Discount module, which recently got nerfed, but it's still decent enough in the deck, especially with the help of things like Party Fiends. Like, we literally had a game where we played a turn 2 Ziliax because we had a turn 1 Party Fiend and a turn 2 Party Fiend Ziliax, which is insane. We obviously have the Imprisoned Horrors and the Molten Giants, which drop down to 0 quite easily. For those of you new to the deck, Imprisoned Horror does not get discounted by things like Blood Treant, or Infernal for that matter, because you could be using this for damaging yourself, but you usually never do that. So yeah, don't expect this guy to be getting discounted for you that way. All around, the deck is very quick. All you gotta do is just zerg the board and on turn 3 or turn 4 have an obscene amount of stats with a bunch of 8/8s, 4/4s, all of that good stuff, and usually most opponents can't really handle this. Against warriors, you definitely are gonna have to be very quick against them before they can actually have brawl situations, and honestly nowadays with them actually having ramp, it's a lot harder, but still not the most impossible thing in the world. Maybe if you ration your resources a little bit better, not just going all in, might actually be helpful, but really tough matchup if I gotta be honest. Matchup wise, here's what the situation looks like. Honestly, really doesn't feel like this. These stats are as close to reality. Apparently, most people are actually having success against warriors. It is tricky, I can tell you that much, but I guess if the opponent doesn't get the good early game ramp and you have a okay curve, it's usually not gonna be that bad apparently. Pirate Shaman and Evolved Shaman are not going to be great for you, and Sanity Warlock seems to be 50-50. Honestly, it's a bit harder than that if the opponent actually knows what they're doing. Flood Pally can be problematic even though they're not very popular nowadays. Elemental Mage apparently can just zerg you in the face. Spell Mage can do the same. And we also have a Frost Death Knight, which can be an absolute unit of a deck against you because they can literally just freeze your board a lot of the times, even though if the cards align for you, you should be able to kill them around turn 4 and 5. So what is this turn 7 we speak of? Anyway, here's what the mulligans look like. Going first, you obviously want to be curving out well with one of your good 1-drops. Mass production is amazing. Imprisoned Horror, I would only keep if I already have a good turn 1 damaging cards. Elementium Geode is usually great. Blood Treant is also usually a keep. And Ziliax I would only honestly consider keeping if I already have exactly Party Fiend in hand. Like, if it's not Party Fiend, you're just not going to have enough dudes on the board for this to actually make a meaningful difference. Molten Giant, I don't know, I have to have a pretty decent hand for a Molten Giant, like, let's say Party Fiend or a Flame Imp or Mass Production into Elementium Geode, then maybe I can consider the Giant, because it can be huge. Infernal, going first, I don't know, again, have to have a pretty perfect hand for that. And also Cursed Souvenir, if you have a 1-drop, definitely a keep, if you don't, definitely a toss. Malefic Rook is usually also great, as long as you have at least a 1 or a 2-drop, I think you can hold on to it. As for going on the coin, the situation is a bit different. Here we can see Imprisoned Horror here is absolutely amazing. Same can be said for Molten Giant. You're still looking for the good 1-drops, you're still looking for the Elementium Geode, but also things like Sheriff Barrowbrim become a bit more keepable. Malefic Rook's still amazing if you ask me, and also Infernal a lot more keepable here. Like, you should be able to curve out into this quite decently well, so having it as a defense backup, or heck, even just as a turn 4 6/6 on the board, still not the worst thing in the world, so keep that in mind. Honestly, Trolley Problem can also be an amazing turn 2 for you against faster decks, so holding on to it, I'm also not against. All around, that's it for the deck. It's not very cheap, it's not very expensive, and it's definitely pretty fun and pretty quick. It's super strong, obviously. Not the easiest deck to get the hang of, but it's definitely very good once you actually start pulling it off. Hope you enjoyed the guide. Now let's check out some of our games on the last coaching session with it. Hope you enjoy.
Versus Scarlet! Let the blight begin!
Your soul shall be mine!
Alright, so I'm guessing we don't keep any of these.
Out of these, only the Cursed Souvenir could have made some sense if you had a 1-drop, but since we don't, I'd say it's probably best you hard mulligan for a little bit of early game.
Okay.
Sounds about right. Okay, not the best of hands, but Mass Production and Imprisoned are definitely decent, and Malefic Rook is probably your best 3-drop anyway.
Yep.
So yeah, we're Mass Production in here. Obviously, we want to get some card draw so you can get a better turn too. There's your Elementium Geode, so that's going to help a lot. And we're also on our way to have a turn-free Malefic Rook with Imprisoned Horror. Hopefully you get another one by the time it comes down to it. We will be drawing 2, maybe even, no, actually 3 or 4 cards until it's time for that. So yeah, right now best we can do here is play the 2-mana Elementium Geode. It's usually a good idea to stay mana efficient. That's not always the case, but in this deck it usually is. Alrighty then. Once he trades this and we see the next top deck, we're going to be seeing 2 extra cards, so odds of us getting another Imprisoned Horror were decent. Now, not so much. Okay. You could act funny here and actually top deck the Malefic Rook, playing a little bit of mind games with the opponent. Ain't nothing wrong with that. He's gonna think you're super lucky here getting your best free drop exactly on turn 3, so you can just top deck it. And we can also play the 0-mana 4/4 or tons of board stuff. We're pretty confident here with our aggressive playstyle, because you know you have your Infernal to get back to healthy 15.
Yep.
Okay. This guy is some kind of hand buff. Triple blood, actually, the hell?
Yeah, I haven't seen
Does that mean he's Highlander? Kinda could. Alrighty, what do you want to do here?
Well, I don't have anything I can cheat out yet. I could potentially, so I have my Curse, I also have my Flame Imp, which I could go into the Flame Jungler, or Juggler.
So many possibilities.
I'm not really sure.
I'm almost considering even going super hard here with both Flame Imp and Malefic Rook. That is gonna drop you down to a very scary 6 health. He has 1 on the board, Hero Power gives him 1 more, so 4 more damage from hand. Not the hardest thing for him. He is triple blood, so he's not supposed to have hand damage. I think we can go super hard here and go Flame Imp and Malefic Rook here. I do believe it should stick.
Okay.
Like, we should not be dead here. And you can just go face with these, and next turn we're gonna heal back with the help of the Infernal, so
Okay,
I think we
makes
should be
sense.
fine. Okay, he's trading. Okay, that was 2 extra damage to the face.
Yep.
But we are gonna heal back decently well here. Okay, you cannot play that first, sadly.
Right.
So it's just gonna have to be the 4-mana Infernal. On the far left is where you would like to position. The reasoning behind that is it's a taunt minion, so your first taunt minion is always good to be going on the far left, because that means it's gonna remain on the far left unless you decide otherwise. Whereas if you play it on the right side, the moment you summon a card with the help of, let's say, Trolley Problem, it's gonna get sandwiched and it's gonna become in the middle instead. And the reason why that's important is there are cleave cards in the game right now, and Death Knight actually has one of them. It's the 6-mana Hollow Hound. It's a 3/4 Beast Rush. Lifesteal attacks adjacent enemies, so if a taunt is in the middle, he will be able to cleave 3 minions, whereas now he can only cleave 2. You can go face with these, and that's going to be it for the turn, I think. Don't want to go too crazy with this Blood Treant anymore. So the positioning for taunt minions, the first taunt minion always goes on the far left, the second taunt minion goes on the far right. If there's another taunt minion, things just go messy, so positioning becomes very, very hard to really pull off decently well. Okay, what do you want to do here?
Let's see. So I have 16 damage. What does this give me? 17, 18, 19. So do I have lethal here?
Yep. You have 2 kinds of lethal, one with Ziliax, one with double cursed. Ziliax and cursed is the other lethal, but yeah, double cursed, face, GG. Okay, I do believe your deck tracker is not optimally set, because it took you a little longer to find that lethal out. Let's go to your deck tracker and options and set up the damage counters. Are you using a deck tracker actually?
Yeah, so I have the which one is it? The
HS deck tracker or Firestone?
yeah, Hearthstone deck tracker.
Okay, against the warrior. Warrior could be tricky, but nothing nothing a super quick Molten Giant can't fix against them. I can see a world. What are you thinking first?
I was thinking getting rid of the Zilly, even though it does say #1.
Does it? No, Zilly I think is not as amazing anymore. I think Zilly would only be a consideration if you already have the 1-mana party fiend and we don't. So I don't think
Right.
Zilly is going to be a keep.
So I was thinking we get rid of everything, or do we keep the Molten Giant?
I'm actually thinking about Blood Treant is actually a pretty good keep in most cases, especially with a Molten Giant in hand. So I think you remove the 4 mana and the 7, keep the Blood Treant and Molten Giant.
Okay. Over.
Against the Warrior, it's gonna come down to us building a super big board before they have access to all of their really good removal. Okay, this hand helps. This hand helps big time. Okay. You gotta be tempoing out nicely here, so Flame Imp and Blood Treant are dropping. Okay. Geode up top would be best. Well, that's unfortunate. This guy must be playing Highlander, because nobody in their right mind is running that shit. Even Highlander, honestly.
Yeah.
I guess we just Hero Power here, sadly.
Yep.
Okay, at least we got a pretty solid turn 3 now.
Yeah.
Okay, Malefic Rook it is. Next turn we can actually play the 7-mana Molten Giant if you use a Spirit Bomb, but let's see if he gives us a reason. Okay, no shield slap, so that helps. Problem is this thing still lives, but you will be able to drop both the giants here with the help of a coin. Do you see the play?
Right. Yep, so play the bomb, and then...
Hero Power. See what that does. Maybe we won't need the coin. And you are not gonna need the coin because you get to play this thing.
Alright, so I'm gonna play this.
Okay, play both the zeros and kill the taunt. Notice how we sequenced our... the biggest guy should be in the middle, so one of the 8/8s can remain in the middle. The reasoning behind that is if the opponent has a cleave card, at least they're gonna take the biggest amount of damage if they're gonna be cleaving. So when there's 3 minions, you place them biggest in the middle.
Gotcha.
Okay, kill the 1/1 as well. That's about it. Okay, we're quite low on the health area, so gotta be careful you don't have a spit of healing in here. God damn it. Oh, that's pretty shit. And the game keeps on trying to kill us.
So nothing here.
Nothing at all. Not a speck of healing.
Nope.
You cannot drop yourself lower than 3 health, so I guess we could just Hero Power here, see what that do. That ain't doing much. Maybe you can just play the right top deck trolley problem, because that one at least is not going to be discarding anything for us, and it's still a decent amount of stats on the board, but so far this game is looking pretty bad for us, because he managed to deal with the big board of giants, and we're getting into his gameplay. His game plan is happening now. Yeah, that's a problem, because this thing also goes face, and we would like for it not to go face. The game still tries to kill us. Sad stuff.
So no healing.
I think Sheriff Barrowbrim is fine-ish here. Play him on the far left. That way the dormant thing is gonna separate your minions.
Okay.
You can use the location on the 2/6, so at least it does not increase his invocations in the meantime.
On the 2/6?
2/10. It's a 2/10, just use the location on it.
Oh, I see.
Go face with the free freeze, and you can also coin out another trolley problem so we can at least have as much stats on the board as we can, because we really don't have any time to fuck around. Trolley problem, yeah. Alrighty then. We weren't planning on playing that card. It was guaranteed it's going, and we didn't care about it much. Okay, that's sad. And that's just dumb. 5 cards out of 23, sure. As one does. We couldn't get a single speck of healing. Popgar and both the Infernals never showed. It was definitely a far-fetched game for us after he managed to clear that big boy giant board. We had to go for it. Like, if he has the removal, what you gonna do? If he doesn't, we had a chance, but game said otherwise.
So on Warrior like that, you just want to play fast, like early, and hoping.
Well, yeah, you want to be able to really build a board before they can actually have good removal, but that guy just ramped way too quickly for us. He also had some awkward removal they're not supposed to be running usually. What are you thinking about this hand?
Well, we have mass production on one, but technically we want something on the board, right?
Mass production is still one of the best cards you could be doing on turn 1.
Okay.
You don't have that many 1-drops, like it's only 4 minions on 1 mana, so odds of you getting 1 just because you remove a mass production, I would much rather have mass production than skip turn 1, you know?
Okay. So do I keep this?
I think the whole hand makes a lot of sense. It's curving out pretty well for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, ask and you shall receive. Let's do that then.
Yeah. So go Party Fiend.
Yeah, whip it out. Next turn, we could even consider coining out the Rook. No reason for you to be playing mass production here. It gives you absolutely no benefit. Like, what's that gonna give you?
Yeah, true.
The coin you want to be using for extra tempo, not just because you can.
Okay.
Okay, what do you want to do here?
I was thinking going for the Rook.
I think I'm down for it as well. It gives you a lot of tempo here, and that would help us overthrow him before he really manages to stabilize much.
And then clear it?
Yeah, no reason not to. If this was a 1-3 or something like that, we probably would not have cleared it, because going wide is usually a good idea for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a great target for the Spirit Bomb. Let's see if that's what we do. Okay, what do you think we're doing?
Spirit Bomb, Geode?
What would be the better sequence of that turn?
Maybe going for... Actually, don't know.
No, those are the cards. There's literally only 2 sequences. You either Spirit Geode or Geode Spirit, and technically if you Geode first, you're gonna get extra information. So might as well do that first.
So I draw, get a card.
Yeah, whenever, like, you're gonna notice I'm literally waiting to hear the entire turn before we really pull the trigger on a play. And the reason behind that is, if you actually know what you're gonna be doing that turn, you can actually precise what you're gonna be doing that turn. And this allows you to actually pivot into another game plan. Like, if you let's say top deck something better than a Spirit Bomb right now, there's not such an example, but plenty of times there will be. We could have done a different play, but in this case, yeah, you Spirit Bomb the free and just go face with everything. But always approach a turn by figuring out the entire sequence of cards you're going to be playing, and then try to precise a better sequence for it, because with the 2-1 getting played first, that actually gives you an extra card you don't have no knowledge for. So once you do that, you're going to be working with extra information, and sometimes that actually helps you figure out a better play than the one you already had. Okay, what do you think here?
I was thinking getting through the taunt, possibly, with Trolley. Trading into the 3-1. Something like that.
Okay, we are also going to play mass production, right?
Yeah, because I
might as well start with that then.
Alright.
Okay, good to know. Doesn't change a thing though. Yeah, trolley
Yeah,
problem into the
trolley.
2/6. A couple of the 1/1s can kill the 3/1 and the 1/1.
Yeah.
Now the question is, do we care about this 0/2 totem against us?
Yeah, probably not. Probably go face.
I think you traded with the 2/1 because right now if this guy has Drive Insect, that would be a real bitch.
Oh,
The
okay.
2-mana Drive... no. What was it called? The 2-mana +3/+3, 1 damage AoE, that would have cleared pretty much all of your board and would have been a damn shame. Okay, this guy is actually Highlander, that much has been said. Good to know. Alrighty, what do you want to do here?
So, am I trying to hero power for a Molten Giant yet, or?
I mean, our hand is looking pretty miserable right now, so yeah, I'd say you start off with a hero power.
So many possibilities.
That's
Okay,
interesting.
So souvenir. So yeah, I don't know if we go low enough for that. So just a flame juggler, or do I, or even like cursed?
We do have the Infernal heal back, we also have Popgar, so I'd say the Cursed is actually not bad. Yeah, give the
Okay.
Cursed to a free one, I think. So it becomes a bit healthier. And just go face with everything, we're not playing that Blood Treant. Maybe next turn, if we have enough health left. Before the Infernal, we could fit it in.
Going Inferno.
And the neat part is this free damage is gonna occur next turn, so that is gonna bump up your Fearless Flame Juggler, if you want that extra damage. Okay, let's see if we can actually whip out a lethal here. Well, yeah, you have just lethal. Well, that's another lethal, but... No, actually, what was this lethal I was talking about? We didn't have it until we top decked Zilly. But now, yeah, now you can just play the Zilly X. The 2/2 is gonna kill the 1/1 and 6/4 Ghost Face because it's 7.
Oh, yeah.
Perfection it is. Yeah, for some reason I thought we had another Cursed Souvenir. That was last game.
Gotcha.
On these ranks, I'd expect this to be a Zarimi Priest. Overheal Priest is pretty popular in top ranks. Highlander Priest is also played by some people, but it has awful win rate, so I'd definitely be preparing this to be a Zarimi Priest, which we usually win against. What do you want to keep here?
Getting rid of these.
You're gonna have to say them, because I only see the cards, not what you cross.
Oh, so souvenir and the flame juggler.
I think you also removed the Infernal. Infernal is cool and all if you already have a good curve for it, but if you don't, you'd much rather get some damaging cards so this Imprisoned Horror drops nice and quick. If honestly this Infernal was a 1-drop instead, we could have kept the whole thing, because turn 1, 1-drop, turn 2, Cursed, turn 3, Fearless, maybe Imprisoned, could have been pretty good. But let's remove the... just keep the 9 mana.
Okay.
Okay, bit better, bit better. Turn 1 Flame into turn 2 Rook potential, pretty decent.
Yep.
Light sings, and the impure fall.
Okay, turn 1 Flame is happening, but turn 2 we might actually consider coining out this trolley problem so we can actually recover from what this man's about to do.
Oh. So this is Zarimi?
Could be anything
this-
still, but it's probably Zarimi indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, let's coin out the trolley problem and deal with that 1/3 like that. And you can go face as well. Okay, pretty nice board for a turn 2. This looks to be Overheal Priest. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But you never pick Crimson Clergy out of that. What the fuck was that even? Hey, look at that. We top deck the Rook again. Let's do that then. And I'd say the 3/2 makes the trade into the 1/3 again. And you can go face with the rest.
need to find a nuke.
Yep, he is Overheal indeed. Frack. Okay, good thing we attacked with the free one because that was gonna die either way. Now you got to actually save up a free one instead, so that really helps. What do you want to do here?
So what are we looking for out of the deck?
So many possibilities.
So I'm thinking
With this
hero
deck,
power.
in order for you to be looking for something, you have to have a pretty bad hand already. Right now, we can literally go for a turn 4, 9-10 on the board, and that is far from bad. So I think you just Malefic Rook, 0 mana imprisoned, and we double trade this 3/7 because it's very scary to leave like that.
Does positioning matter here?
Not much, because this is not going to be the board.
Okay, so then we
Double
just
traded as well. This thing is just way too good to let alive. Problem is he gets to re-summon it. That's also gonna summon us, what is that gonna summon us? A free with Rush. Yeah. Please don't have too much healing, just the hero power, can ya? Yeah, bitch. You are gonna be left with a 5-2, I think. No, we are actually left with a decent sized board, so this Ziliax can drop. Ooh, another horror.
Alright, so we play that.
You can start with the hero power still. We're most probably doing that either way, but might as well get the hero power in. Okay. We are dropping the 0 mana imprisoned. Should we drop the 5 mana blind? I think you could. Let's play the 5 mana Blood Treant.
And then Zilly.
You can also actually play the 2 mana Fearless Flame Jungler. It's gonna be a free and Zilly is gonna go down to 1. So let's go ahead and do that.
Does it matter where Zilly goes?
Far right, I guess. As far away as it is your other big hitter.
I see.
And I guess the 5-3 and the 4-2 have to make the trade into the 3-7. The 6-5 can go face. Pretty sad trades, but what you gonna do? Okay, hopefully he does not have another hauler. Fucking does. This time at least you get up 5-5. This guy actually played his... Yeah, he played it for the rest in peace. We should have known, actually. That was guaranteed there's gonna be another rest in peace. Okay, that's GG. Fucking hell, man. Yeah, these guys are very awkward to play against, but on these ranks they're not as good. The deck is far from your typical fundamental Hearthstone, and it also has quite the high skill cap. Quite the high entry level as well, one might say.
So get rid of the souvenir.
I'd say you also gotta drop one horror here, because holding on to both of them just makes sure you're not gonna drop either of them anytime soon, whereas with only one, you have more chances of getting some early game. So let's go ahead and just leave one.
Keep one. Okay, nothing here.
Sadly, no. Not a great turn 2 either. Hopefully that changes. Well, yes, a Flame Imp will do. It's not mana efficient, but we do have decent stuff to be doing soon, so... There's that. Next turn the Rook. Turn after a Hero Power Imprisoned, maybe a Fearless. We shall see. Yeah, if this guy's running that crap, he might be Highlander, honestly. Could be anything, really, but Highlander has room for stupid cards like that. Yeah, Malefic Rook in face.
Now, trade this?
Honestly, what is the worst that this guy can do with his 2-3 that requires you to trade? Like, the best thing he could be doing is for him to trade your 3-2 with it. So, honestly, I think you just go face and let him do the trade. Like, you don't want to be using, doing useless trades, especially with minions that don't do anything. Hey, look at that, he traded it. So, you basically cheated out 3 extra damage to his face that way.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, what do you want to do here?
I was thinking hero power and fearless, and then
Yeah, let's see the hero power and decide afterwards. Okay, yeah, the play remains fearless plus imprisoned, and you actually might not want to be attacking even here, because we could use the sheriff next turn. Is that what we're gonna do though? Let's think about it. It's quite the big chunk, quite the big damage. It's gonna drop down to 3 health. I think you just pass it.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be better if we just leave it like that. And yeah, this guy has to be Highlander triple blood, I think. Hopefully doesn't kill the 5/6 like that. Doesn't. Acceptable.
So how long have you been playing Hearthstone?
I think right when Pirate Demon Hunter was a deck, like you said, you've also played that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this
Alright,
is interesting. This is interesting because you also have a Ziliax potential play here, but I don't think it's that great. Yeah, I think it's still the Sheriff.
Sheriff.
Play the Sheriff on the between the 4/4 and the 5/6. That way you're gonna separate your minions as 2 on each side of the location.
Okay.
The location also prevents him from attacking more than 2
do
minions
that
at the
for
same
you.
time. Yeah, make it sleep.
Now, do we
Now the
play...
question is, does this 1/4 really pose a meaningful threat for us? And honestly, I'm not sure. Death Rattle minions in this guy. Show Fallen Baron comes to mind. Probably not worth it to sink 4 damage into it, is it? But I think the 4/3 you could kill with the 3/3. It's a decent enough trade. So yeah, the 3/3 kills his 4/3. The 4/3.
This one, yeah.
And everything else can go face. And I guess you can also drop this Party Fiend now, because we have enough room for it. Before the trade, we did not have enough room. There we go. If most of this remains, Ziliax will be decent next turn.
Yep. So are you a full-time content creator now, or?
Pretty much, yeah. Coaching, YouTube, Twitch, all of that good stuff. Okay. That went so well. This guy did not have the answer. The only answer he could have had here would have been Threads of Despair or Corpse Explosion.
Yep.
Seems like he had neither.
Yeah, I think some of my problem right now is I've just jumped deck after deck after deck because I thought if I learned more decks, then I would know what I'm playing against.
That's exactly what you should be doing, honestly. But if you really want to be climbing, obviously you will want to be sticking to one. But right now, since you just came back, it is definitely a good idea for you to learn the meta like that.
Okay, so
interesting hand.
I don't know if we keep Trolley. I say we don't keep Zilly.
If you were going second, Trolley definitely could have been a keep. And right now, like I said, Ziliax I would only consider if you already have a Party Fiend, and we do. So turn 1 you play Party Fiend. That drops your Ziliax down to a 4 mana. Turn 2 we could play something else. Drops it down to 3 mana. It's kind of a long shot, but I think we give Ziliax a try this time.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. That's a turn 2 Zilly right there. As long as he doesn't coin hero power for some fucked up reason. But yeah, Party Fiend. Next turn we're fucking doing it again. And turn 2 Ziliax as I live and breathe.
Yep.
Okay. Problem is he could still literally have a fucking coin swipe next turn with the location. That would be pretty shit.
Yep.
But this is just way too good not to do, man. Like, it's obvious punish if he has swipe next turn, but it's just way too good. Yeah, whip it out and full face.
Yeah, just gotta try it.
It's almost like the game wants to bait us into playing this big play, so it gives him the big play, you know? Top deck swipe? Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
It was so fucking obvious, right? Fucking bullshit. I'd say mass production is a bit too good to waste on this trolley problem, so let's play the 1 mana mass production instead.
Okay, and then hero, depending on what we get.
Well, I guess you can do
Oh.
another mass production. This guy is gonna be Concierge Druid, so we're in danger if we drop too low, but
One more?
the hand is just doing that for us right now, isn't it? Yeah, mass production one more time. Problem is we're filling our hand with stupid mass productions right now, and we keep on getting them for some fucked up reason. That's all for now.
Exactly.
Okay, if he plays a minion next turn, you can actually Spit Bomb it and Molten Giant, so that can be pretty cool. Heck, we could even drop the Molten Giant that way, but the problem is we're a little bit too low, but I think we should really get a move on. So play the 1-mana Spit Bomb on the 3/2.
Yep.
And honestly, you could also play the 1-mana Mass Production one more time, and that's gonna be all the damage we're gonna be taking at this point. God damn it, mass production over mass production. Play the zeros, play the fearless, and let's hope we get a speck of healing soon, because this guy definitely has a good amount of damage from hand as well. Okay, pretty big stuff. That's all.
Yeah, not bad.
Live fast, die young. We're at the swipe again. He has 3-shotted swipe right now, including Malfurion's gift swipe.
Jeez.
Honestly, he could even try his luck with double location, triple 1-drop. Okay.
Okay, so
Well, I don't think we can afford the hero power anymore, can we?
yeah, it'd be rough. So probably trolley to deal with something. So trolley to get rid of the 4/5, and then 4/4 into the 4/3.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, trolley, get rid of one.
I'm almost thinking about if it's still actually kind of okay for us to hero power. Like, if you're on 6 health, it's kind of the same when you're on 4 health against this guy. Like, he either has the swipe or concierge or what's it called? Yeah, let's hero power one last time. No, that not you. Okay, kill the 4/5,
Alright, so-
kill the 3/4. 4/5 first.
So we're going here. 4 into 3, and then face.
Mm-hmm.
What does he have? 5
No
armor.
more swipe, lethal for him. Okay, G fucking G. Unbelievable. Yeah, that was a long shot. Yeah, that was so fucking obvious, man. Imagine getting your double party Fiend Ziliax and the guy's gonna have exactly location swipe against you.
Yeah.
A little bit too good now, wasn't it? That was an Epic Game Simulator, what that one was.
Yep.
Another Shaman.
Your soul shall be mine.
Okay, what are you thinking here?
So get rid of one of the horrors. Blood Treant gives us something on board. And then we have Infernal.
I'd say Blood Treant is probably always a keep nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just
So probably
free
keep
real
Infernal.
estate. No reason to hold on to Infernal here. Like, if we had a perfect hand already, you could, but without early game, you gotta be looking for that one. So let's just keep one horror, one Blood Treant, toss the others.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little maybe too safe then. Keep the Infernal.
Well, turn 2 Malefic Rook ain't the worst. Okay, this guy looks to be a weapon pirate. But yeah, 5 mana Blood Treant. 5 health, that is. That's about it.
End turn.
Would have been nice if this thing was interacting with your Imprisoned Horror and your Fearless Flame Juggler, but it's costing you health. You're not taking the damage, technically speaking.
Yeah, when I
Kind
first
of
got
makes
this
sense,
deck,
but
I
it kind
thought
of doesn't. Yeah. Okay, that's cool on that, but I think you still coin Malefic Rook
Rook.
here, even though We gotta be honest, we're not achieving much on a board like this, but it's still probably worth.
At least good stats.
Next turn, this allows you to mass production into 1 mana Imprisoned Horror, hopefully even something better than that. Honestly, if you top deck Spirit Bomb, that's gonna allow you to drop both the 4 mana 4/4 and the Fearless Flame Juggler as a 5/5, so that could be pretty good. Let's see. Okay, that's annoying. Definitely wish we get Spirit Bomb right now.
Yeah, Demon Hunter Forest.
Sadly, not even close.
So...
You got Giga Lucky there. This fucking Adrenaline Fiend is a card they literally run in the deck, and you got Giga Herald there. Let's play the mass production and see if something better comes. Nope.
Nope.
Not even close.
So, do we go for the horror or we go for a 5/5?
It's gonna be a 4/4 because you only took 3 damage. Wait a minute.
Oh, 3.
I'm talking about the Fearless. It's the same as the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Should we just Hero Power instead? Really try to look for some ways to deal with this 2/2?
Probably.
Yeah, let's just Hero Power. Play the 0 mana Imprisoned, and maybe even drop the 5 mana Blood Treant. And we're not attacking into the 0 because that's gonna make it into a 2-drop that can go face next turn. So that's all. Oh, it's actually gonna make it into a 1-drop. Is it worth? Yeah, attack into the 0. God damn it, bro. This guy literally gets his fucking deck out of this thing. Yeah. Another fucking pirate that gives him attack because of the Adrenaline Fiend. Hilarious, Blizz. Literally random synergies for him.
Yeah, this is one... I've never played any type of Shaman deck.
Yeah, Shaman is pretty strong right now. It's not super easy to get the hang of, but it's very strong. Oh god.
Really? Okay.
Funny. Literally dead. Yep. Yeah, this guy was just a little bit too lucky. We didn't have a turn 1. Honestly, he just had way too good a curve for us there. He had the nuts, we had the shaft. Another Druid.
So we have Spirit Bomb. Spirit Bomb could be good if they put something on the board, but...
Yeah, turn 1 they do like dropping the small 3/2 dragon. That would be a decent target.
Get rid of the Party Planner for sure.
Yeah, I think you remove Planner and Infernal, keep the rest.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Okay, acceptable-ish. That can work. Well, let's see the 1 mana mass.
So mass production
here. I'd say you actually would like to coin out the party the party fiend because tempo.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what
okay. Next turn we could even consider using a Spirit Bomb on our own idiot, so you can drop an Imprisoned Horror, but probably not gonna be the brightest idea. That's kind of cool. Yeah, this is actually allowing you to have a pretty good Fearless Flame Juggler next turn, so let's go with the Cursed.
Yep.
We have the Infernal, so we're not afraid dropping low. We also have the Molten Giant, so this definitely helps you big time. So yeah, next turn this allows you to drop 0 mana Imprisoned, and if this guy plays a minion, which he honestly should, and he does, the Spirit Bomb plus the 2/2 with the 2 mana Fearless is going to be huge. So yeah, spit on the 3/2. Play the Juggler and the 0 mana Imprisoned. Spirit Bomb.
So Spirit Bomb on the 3/2. So then we have the Fearless and the Imprisoned.
And this Molten Giant is also dropping fairly soon.
Now should I split them?
Yeah, sure. Play it on the far left. It's kind of awkward here. Like there are different positionings depending on what you're playing around. Right now, Druid should not really have anything you're playing around, honestly. There are a few cards you might want to be thinking about, like, for instance, Mages and Warlocks can freeze Cleave, so minions next to each other, basically. So that can be awkward, but...
So, what do we got? 3 damage here. So should we be working on getting the Molten Giant out, or should we Sheriff the 3/4 and go
I
face?
think Temple Sheriff right now is great. Put him in the middle so you separate these, so you have a couple of 4s on the left, 8 on the right. Yeah, use the location and smack him in the mouth. He shouldn't be able to recover from this. They don't deal with big minions well.
Right.
Yeah, this is one of your best matchups. You keep the Druids at bay.
We all
Cool.
exist in harmony.
Oh, let's see what they are.
Fellow Warlock. Could be Pain, could be Insanity. Sadly, none of these work for us right now. Curse Souvenir could be huge, but not without a 1-drop, I'd say.
So no Molten Giant.
Yeah, I don't think you can hold on to it going first without any type of hand. Like, if the other 2 cards were damaging cards, you could have considered maybe, but even then, I'd say it's a long shot.
Right.
Going second, it's a bit more keepable, though.
Taking his time.
Okay, that Souvenir came back. Mass production away. Okay, something. He plays a Flame Imp, we can spit on it. Doesn't. It's probably a mirror. Some lists of Insanity could also be running this, but... yeah, he is Pain Warlock indeed. Okay, should we just spit on it? Might as well. Yeah, Spirit Bomb plus Party Fiend, why not? If you top deck another Spirit Party Fiend like that, we could consider Ziliax.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty safe like that. Malefic Rook on the far left. 1 kills this thing and we go face. Denying him the damage during his turn makes his 0 mana 4/4 harder to pull off. So far he's only dealt 5 damage to him, so it's 4 mana for him. Mildly annoying, not gonna lie.
Alright. So, probably Hero Power.
Yeah, let's Hero Power. And you can play the Cursed Souvenir on yourself as well. And now it's very important for you not to be going face. The reason behind that is if you do go face, this guy is gonna become 8 health, meaning he's gonna have 0 mana Molten Giant, and he can also play the 4 mana Infernal and get back to 15. So now you're just trading with the free 2. And we're basically gonna be playing around this situation, not allowing him to drop super cheap Molten Giants and heal back to 15. by basically trading a bunch before you can actually build a meaningful board so you can actually get them. Okay.
There's that first giant.
Okay, what do you think the play is?
Jail his 8. And then play Flame Imp for a free Molding Giant.
What else are we doing?
Does that sound good?
Yeah, but we're also doing something else. What are we doing on the board?
Trading out the 4/4.
Exactly. Yeah, kill the 4/4 with the 4/1, play the Sheriff, play the Flame Imp, and play the Giant. Flame Imp on the left side, Giant on the right. And now we have exhausted all of his potential lethal outs there, because if you did leave that 4/4, you were dead to a single souvenir, because you were also taking free damage at the beginning of your next turn.
Yep.
And right now, this is basically impossible for him to recover from. He could have had the 15. Since he doesn't, it's GG.
Nice.
But yeah, all around you saw all of the little things we were thinking about doing during our turns. During your mulligan phase, it's very important for you to acknowledge if you're going first or second, because that is going to drastically change the way you mulligan. You should also be acknowledging what you could be playing against. So kudos to you for actually playing different decks so you actually get to know what makes them tick. Even if you're not good with those decks, you're still going to be able to actually see what makes those decks struggle. So it's also good for you to be taking some mental notes like that, so when you actually come back to your main deck, you can actually abuse those weaknesses you've noticed while playing those other decks. Yep. During the actual game, you saw how we were figuring out the entire turn before we started executing it, and that leaves very little room for error, very little room for you to actually be like, oh wow, I could have done this instead. So that's why you want to be figuring out the whole turn first. If you're going to be drawing or discovering cards that turn anyway, might as well start with that unless there's a very good reason for you not to. And then reevaluate if the play remains the same or have you actually discovered a better play like that. The other thing you should be thinking about is planning for future turns. Like, if you're doing something this turn, how does that help you for the turn after? Like, is it gonna leave you with a better play for later, or is it actually gonna make your next play literally unplayable? Like, let's say turn 1 you have a 1-drop and a 2-drop, and you decide, I'm gonna coin out a 2-drop. If that actually leaves you with not a great turn 2 afterwards, maybe it's not such a bright idea to do that on turn 1. So yeah, things like this are definitely going to be helping you climb higher in the ranks. Like, just the figuring out your entire turn part before you start executing it, that alone should be able to get you to legend, honestly. Because so many people just start throwing cards and then find themselves in the middle of the turn, oh wait, I could have done this and it would have been so much better, and it usually is.
Yep.
So yeah, hope you enjoyed the session, man. Would love to do another one, maybe with some of that Insanity Warlock. You definitely seem to know your way around the game. So you might be ready for something a bit more untraditionally like Insanity Warlock. It's definitely a great deck right now, maybe one of the best decks in Top Legend especially. It's not as good from Diamond to Legend, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be just a skill issue, and people in Diamond just don't know how to really play differently against the different matchups, because against control decks with Insanity you play for a lot more crescendo damage, whereas against aggro you just survive, you just control the board a bunch. Alrighty, man.
That makes sense. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll most likely be scheduling something. So.
Sure thing, man.